Good day, everyone. In today's class, we'll be looking at what is it called, the impact on discontinuing operation. I've explained this before, but I have to do that today. Discontinuing operation means that you're part of your business, excuse me, you decide that you will not continue to produce that product again because of what? It could be because you make a loss in the contribution, right, or the profit. Then you now say, oh, you will not continue this particular product because you actually make a loss in what? In the process. After you produce that particular product, you actually make a loss. All right. Then with that, you can decide that, oh, the organization may decide that, oh, you want to discontinue this particular product because you are not making a what? Profit. You can base on this discontinued operation. You can base this discontinued operation based on contribution. Don't forget, in performance management, your profit is just more or less like your contribution, right? Now, however, when a company is now considering taking off a particular product, you should also consider the impact on other products, right? Now, Olaide, for instance, may have two products, product A, and Olaide, because of product A, Olaide decided that, oh, I need to purchase product B because of product A, because there is something special in that has to do with that attached product B to product A. Olaide can decide, oh, if that will be the case, because I love this product A, I will buy it. I will buy product what? Product B. So you can see now when you now discontinue the operation, you will now see the impact that the profit you are making in the product B may reduce as a result of what? As a result of discontinuing the operation. Because consumer can be so funny, because you discontinue that operation, you don't know it is because of that product that you discontinue that they are purchasing, they are buying your product. You don't know. Now, in this case, now we want to know the impact of the what? Of the discontinued operation. Either is it going to increase the profit, or reduce the what? Or reduce the profit at the end of the period, right? And that is what we want to look at. Now, I have a question here, right? The profit now, don't forget that I said discontinued operation under the short-term decision may not come like this, right? It may come in form of it may actually include limiting factor, right? It may actually what? Include limiting factor. You know, once you have it there, you all limiting factor is also a decision making question. Is that not so? So when they give you a question like that, discontinue the operation is just for you to remove that product, and what will be the impact on the contribution? You can base it on contribution. Will you have a negative contribution or a positive contribution? Right? It is not necessary. Don't forget, in performance management, you talk about contribution. Contribution is more or less like your profit in what? In performance management class. So we'll quickly complete this question before we move, please. The profitability of the company's four products and the potential effects of several prospects for varying the production mix. Now you can see all this information was given before. We don't know what they used to arrive at their cost of sales. They got their gross profit. These expenses, we don't know what it includes. And don't forget that expenses is like your unavoidable costs, right? Your rents are, or they are unavoidable costs, because if you want to start a business, you need an apartment. So you must pay a rent, right? So we don't know how they arrive at this profit before tax as we're given above. Then we're given the selling price and variable cost of sales per unit, variable expenses per unit, and the unit what? units sold for each of the products. Now, total fixed costs are not expected to fluctuate as a result of changes under contribution. Now, they are telling you that, don't forget, I've always said this, even under the limiting factor that we did, I made mention of it that your fixed cost does not change according to your level of activity. Oh. Your fixed cost will remain the same. Don't forget this. I always said it, even in limiting factor, I made mention of it that your fixed cost, total fixed cost does not change according to what you produce, right? So they are just what? They are just needed to what? Lay emphasis on it here. Now, the first required is that what will be the effect on the net income if product C is discontinued? Now, we want to discontinue product C. Now, don't forget that we don't know what they use to arrive at this, right? But then, what we are going to use is the unit cost, is what we're given as selling price, variable cost of sales, variable expenses, what? Variable expenses per unit, then the unit what? The unit sold. We don't know how they arrive at this, right? It could be that we don't even know. It could be that these expenses include both variable costs and fixed costs. We don't know. It could be that this cost of sales include both variable costs and fixed costs. We don't know. But the one that we know, it is the one of selling price for each of these products, the variable cost per unit of this particular product, variable expenses, and the unit. So we'll make use of this we'll use the down information for our decision, right? Don't forget, under what is it called in performance management contribution, you can base your decision based on what? Based on contribution. Now, the first question is, what will be the effect on the net income if product C is discontinued? Now, the net income they talk about here does not necessarily is your profit. Don't forget, it does not mean that it is your what? It is your profit. Your contribution is your net income, because you say sales minus variable cost, you have what? Net contribution. It is, don't forget, in performance management, you more recognize contribution as what? As a profit, right? As a what? As a profit. So we base the decision based on what? Based on the profit, based on the contribution. Now, if it discontinued product C, what will be the impact? Now, the first thing we need to do, what will be the first thing we need to do is that we need to get we need to do something quickly. We need to do a rough estimate so that we'll get our contribution. Before we discontinued product C, what will be our net income? Then after we discontinue product C, do we have increase or decrease? Let me quickly delete this table. Okay, I have to do that. So just a solution A, right? I'm supposed to do something, yes. Sorry. Still, I'm supposed to create another column insert above. Okay. So this will be Naira. We put the Naira sign. Please, we must complete this question tonight. Okay. So this is okay. I need to create insert another column so that we will have the products. So that we'll have the products. Product A. Class, are we still together? Product B.
Yes, we are.
Product C. Okay, that's fine. Then product D. Right? This is the product. So we want to determine the contribution before the discontinued operation. Then what will be the contribution after the discontinued operation? Then we will now look at it, the impact, the effect on the what? On the contribution. Now, class, this is the usual, right? So when you minus all this, what do you have? What will be your contribution? When you minus your sales minus your variable cost, what will be your contribution? I need someone to just give me the figure so that we can move ahead.
Okay, for A,
Yeah,
6.33. 6.33.
6.33. Now, you should know that this 6.33 is per unit, right? This 6.33 given to you is 6 naira 33 kobo per unit, class. This selling price per, don't forget, this is selling price per unit. The selling price per unit will goes with, say, we go with the unit sold or with the unit produced. Don't forget, we've done all these things in our previous lecture. When you have variable cost of sales per unit, you multiply it by the unit, and this is the unit cost, 6 naira 33 kobo per unit, class. Okay, what do you have in the second one? What do you have? Quickly. So most of you are not with your calculator. Okay, oh, give me figure. Oh.
5.
10.75.
Okay, 10.75. I will just call someone to be giving me figure. If you guys refuse to give me, I will just check. Let me check if I have oh.
Hello?
Hello, please, can you hear me?
Minus, yes, minus
Okay, hello.
0.5.
Okay, I'm coming. I think my network went off. Someone was trying to. What is this now? Okay, just hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Okay, I think we need to continue. More fast now. Mo wà ní class. Màá pè yín padà. Mo wà ní class. Okay. See, what do you have here?
Minus 0.5.
Okay, minus 0.5. So what do you have here?
3.8.
3.8.
3.8.
Okay, 3.8. 3.8. Now, this decision, you can see that. Oh my God. Mo wà ní class now. Mo wà ní class. Sorry, please. So, okay, now you can see this decision was before. You can see before the discontinued operation, right? This is before the discontinued operation. This is their contribution. Don't forget, you can base your decision based on what? Based on contribution. Now, we will remove product C from here, class. We will do what? We will remove product C from here. Then we will now say, oh, what will now be the impact of removing product C, class? What will now be the what? Be the impact. Now, there are different ways you can use to solve this question. You can decide to get the value of your selling price per unit, variable cost per unit. You multiply it by the unit sold to get the value, right? I don't want to go through that route. That is why I say, okay, let's just make it in another format, right? Let's just make it in another format. Now, This is before the discontinued operation, right? Now let's now do this because we want to know the impact. We want to know if the contribution actually increases nor decreases. So we can now remove product C. We'll remove this part of product C. We'll remove it, delete column. Now, before that, so what is the total contribution here? Let me just give me the total contribution here. When you add all the contribution, what do you have? 6.33, 10.75, you minus 0.5, then add 3.8. What is the total contribution, class? Quickly.
20.38.
20 what?
Point 38.
20.38. 20.38. Right? That is the what? That is the total what? That is the total contribution. Can you see it? 20 naira 38 kobo. 20 naira what? 38 kobo. Please don't call figure like that. So we are not in we are not market women, right? We are professionals, right? So this is the total contribution here. Let me just put it as per unit. So this is total contribution per unit, right? Which is 20.38. Now, when you now discontinued product C, class, when you discontinued product C, what is now the total contribution? Give me the figure. When you
20
add
naira.
everything together,
20 naira 88
20,
kobo.
20 naira 88 kobo, right? 20 naira 88 kobo. So now, what happened to the contribution? What happened to the contribution? Contribution will be what? The profit will be what? Has increased by how many percent? Therefore, not percentage. Let's say therefore, contribution will increase by, so 2 naira 20 kobo, 20.38 minus 20.88. Right, let me put it profits will increase by, so what is the increase? What is the difference? 20 minus, let me just use, so it's increased, right? So what is the difference? What is the increase?
50 kobo. 0.5.
0.5. Now, this is 0.5 naira what? Per unit. Is that not so? Now, it means that the profit will increase by 0.5 naira per unit as a result of discontinued product C. Class, what is now the value now? If you want to get the value, what will be the value of this? If you want to get the value, what will be the value? So we multiply by the units that you discontinued. Don't forget, you discontinued what? Product C. Now, what is the increase? As a result of discontinued product C, you have higher profit of 20 point what? 20.88. Is that not so? 20 what? 20.88. Now, 20.88 minus 20.38 before you discontinue the what? Before you discontinue the operation, you have 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 per unit, right? 0 naira 50 kobo per unit. Is that not so? Now, if you want to get the value of the profit, because it is profit, we need to get the value. You multiply it by what you discontinued. Don't forget, you multiply it by what? By what you discontinued. Don't forget, you discontinued product what? Product C. Now, class, you need to go back and check, excuse me, you need to go back and check what is, okay, let's say total value, total profit. What is the unit sold for product for product C? Total profit is 0.5 naira per unit times what is the unit sold for product C? The unit sold for product C. Let's check. What is the unit sold for product C? The unit sold for product C is what? Class.
1 8.
1,800.
1,000, 1,800, right? Alaide, the way you call figure these days, I need to investigate you. So 1,800 units, right? So we now go back and say 1,800 units. So what is the value? What is the increase in the profit? What is the increase when you multiply? What do you have?
900.
900 naira.
900 naira. Olaide, I need to investigate you. The way you call figures these days, today, is unusual. Although you are not with us for some classes like that, but there. Now, class, I hope you all get the gist of this particular A. Now, what really happened here is that you want to discontinue product C. And we say, what will be the effect on net income? Don't forget, when they say net income, it does not necessarily profit like normal profit. In performance management, contribution is net income, is profit. So therefore, now we want to look at the impact. You will now say, what is the before contribution per unit? Before contribution per unit is what? 20.38 per unit. Now, when you discontinued, you have 20.88. Now, what is the increase in the profit? It increased by what? It increased by 0.0 naira 50 kobo per unit. Now, what is the total profit? Your total profit will be 0.5 naira per unit, what you discontinued, times 1,000 what? 1,000 units, so that you get the value of, because it is as a result of discontinuing that product what? That product C. If you look at this one, 0.5, this 0.5, when you look up, you see 0.5 here as contribution or not? Can you see it? Before you discontinue, can you see the 0.5? Class,
Yes.
hello?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes, sir.
this simply means that I may not even go through this route. I can decide that, oh, I will just remove product C. And I say, oh, as a result of removing product C, I will have a savings of 900 naira. I will just remove it because that 900 will be added. That's 0.5 because you are minusing it from your what? From your profit. Is that not so? I may decide that, oh, I will just use 0.5 times 1,800. I will say I'm saving 900. So definitely my profit will increase by 900 because the contribution of product C is in bracket already. It will reduce the contribution. So if you do not join it at all, it means that it will increase by that what? By that contribution amount, class. So I may not go through this route. Maybe in the subsequent one, then I will move from there. Class, are we good? Hello? Okay. Now, if that is established, this is for A. The next one, I may not need to go through this, right? So this is one. This. This is one. So two, right? Two. What is the next question, please? Check your handout, check your material. I want to believe that every one of you on this call, you have your material with you. So what is the next question, please? The next question is the effect on net income if product C is discontinued. What will be the effect? on net income if what? If product C is discontinued. You discontinued product C. What will be the effect? The first one is the effect is that it will increase the profit by 900 naira. Now, if now the second one is the effect on net income if product C is discontinued. So if product C is discontinued and if a consequent loss of customers cause a decrease of 200 units in sales of product what? In sales of product B. So which means that as a result of discontinuing product A, this 1,200, you will lose 1,200. Class, as a result of discontinued product what? Product C. This is what I'm talking about at the beginning. As a result of that, because there are some consumer that it is because of that product C, they are patronizing the company. And at the end of the day, the product C has they've discontinued product C. So this means that they may likely lose what? They may likely lose some customer, and by extension, it will reduce what? It will reduce their profit, and that is what it means. Now, in this case now, I will now reduce the sales in units by what? I will reduce the sales in units by what? By this amount. Then by then, I will now say, oh, what will be the effect? So it is very simple. What you need to do is that we've already in product B, right? What we need to do here is there are two ways you can do it, Sha. Okay, there are two ways you can actually do this. Okay. There are two ways. Okay, let me check. Quickly check this part. A decrease in what? In this, right? So first, let's quickly decrease the unit of product what? Of product what? Of product B. Let's decrease it. I think I've done that here before now. I've just copied this. Although this is not correct. Let me just copy this part. I have to delete this table. Coming. Okay. So, class, are we still together? So, product B now, product B, there will be a decrease in the what? In the product. Now, the question is, if we discontinue it, what will be the impact on the what? On the profit, right? Now, like I said, there are two approach to this, right? Now, it means that the units of product what? Of product B will reduce by what? Will reduce by what? We reduce to 1,000 what? 1,000 units. Is that not so? Now, let's quickly go there. Should we do this? Should we calculate this so that we'll get the value? Okay, that's fine. Okay. I'm coming. Let me copy this part. Okay, okay, okay. Class. So 20.88 times 1,000. What do you have? 20.88 times 1,000. What do you have? 1,000 units. What do you have? I have to approach to this. I'm thinking of alternative. What do you have?
20,880.
Okay, you have 20,000,
880 naira.
20,880 naira. 20,880 naira. No, don't let us do it that way. Let's change approach. Okay. Okay, this is product B, right? So what is the contribution here? The contribution is what? 10 point what? 10.75, right? 10.75. 10.75. Class, just observe. Just observe, just observe, just observe. Okay. This is Okay, let me just pick the 200. I think that will be fine. What I want to do before, if I decide to use the total value, I have to do it twice. I have to do it when it was 1,200 and when it is what 1,000 units. Then we'll now look for the difference. But that will take a lot of what? Time. But guess what? What is the best approach to this? Now, what you need to do is that, what is the reduction? Let's use the reduction amount. What is the reduction? It will reduce by, sorry, it will reduce by 200, right? Just be patient. Let's do something. Like I said, I have two approach to this. Then I don't want to use that other one. That one will be a long approach. Then we'll waste time. Okay. Now, what is the contribution loss as a result of discontinued product what? As a result of discontinued product C. Contribution loss. Don't forget, this is for B. And we're told that this B, right? Contribution loss on product B. I think this is the best approach. Class, this is PM for you. You just have to look at the soft way to do questions so that you will not end up repeating all those things, right? Now, the best approach is that there are two approaches to this question, like I said. I can decide that this sales in units, I will multiply everything by the value. When I discontinue the operation, what is the total? Right? When the unit was 1,200, don't forget it reduced by 200 units. Then I will now reduce it. When I reduce it, it will give 1,000 units. I will still multiply it by the sales unit, variable cost, variable expenses. With that, I will just be wasting time. Then I will look for the difference between when it was 1,200 units as well as when it was what is it called? When it was 1,000 units, then you now make your decision as well. So, class, so the reduction is that it will reduce, as a result of that, they will lose contribution, right? Which is 200 units. They will lose a unit of 200 times, what is the contribution, class? The contribution for B is what? 10.7, 10 naira 75 kobo. So what is the value of the contribution loss? What is the value?
215 naira. Ah, sorry.
Ha!
200
Hey, hey,
times
hey.
10.75.
Fumi,
2,150.
okay. Fumi,
2,150.
are you still with us?
That is not for me.
Okay. Okay, I know. Two
2,150.
2,150, right? Now, as a result of discontinued product what? Product what? Product C, you lose 2,150. Is that not so? You lose 2,000 what? 150. Interesting. Now, when you discontinue product C, savings, savings in product, product C. Now, when you discontinue product C, you have a savings of 0.5 per unit times the 1,000, the 1,800 units, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the savings? This is 900.
Mm-hmm.
Now, class, how much did you lose? What is the impact? Loss on profits. What do you have? What is the difference? What do you have?
1,250.
1,250. You lose 1,250. Interesting. Class, if you did not understand this analysis, let me know. If you did not understand, unmute your mic. Just unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Who is the first person I'm coming? I'll check now. Sorry. Hold. Uh, who is the first person? Please, unmute your mic if you have question. Okay, Vivian.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Well, I just wanted to ask a few questions. So does it mean that the solution we did on Tuesday wasn't correct?
Yes, it was wrong,
All
right?
the solution was wrong.
Yes, all the solution, yes, was wrong. You can see that I did I upload it? I didn't. And okay, you did not wait till the end of that class. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually mentioned it that we have to go back to the question again. Something is not just something is wrong with our what is it called with our solution then. Do you get? So we're not able to conclude. I say no, we have to go back to it because it is not giving me what I want. That is it. I have to go back and check what is the problem, right? And that is why we have to solve it. If not, today we are supposed to move to throughput accounting. Do you get that? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So that you're sounding like, do you understand? Let me know, 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 let me know. Don't worry. Everybody should calm down. I know, I understand. Everybody should calm. So what happened here is that, let me quickly take you back to what happened here, right? So please just pay attention and focus. Now, the first one is that, what will be the effect on the net income if we don't see?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Huh.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I was saying that I was just wondering why we were using this approach. I mean, I think let's just go on. It's not it's clear for me, but I was just wondering why what we did was wrong.
No, no,
So
yes,
yeah.
yes, we'll come back to that. I've actually explained it at the beginning of the class, but then we'll come back to that. It was actually wrong because, let me go back again. It was actually wrong because all these figures was given to us. It has already been calculated. These expenses, right here may include, what is it called? The fixed cost as well as the variable cost, right? It may include the fixed cost as well as what? Oh, it may include fixed costs as well as variable costs. Mhm. So in this case, we cannot ascertain, we cannot base our what is it called decision based on this, right? We cannot base our decision based on that because we don't know what make up this. So in this case, that is why I said, oh, we have to use the contribution. Please confirm if you can hear me. So we have to use contribution to base. Don't forget, in performance management, what you use to base decision mostly is contribution. Contribution is your profit. Okay. Class. The profit before tax given to us in the question, expenses given to us in the question may include both fixed costs and variable costs, of which that will not be the best for us to make decision. And we're given the selling price per unit, variable cost per unit, variable expenses per unit. And this is to tell you that, oh, you need to calculate contribution here, right? You need to do what? Calculate contribution. You will not base your decision based on the profit. You base it based on what? Contribution. And that is why we have to come back to that. Now, in this case, in the first question says that, what will be the effect on net income if product C is discontinued? Which means that you don't want product C, right? And I say use it based on what? Based on contribution. Now we come down here and say, oh, what will be the contribution before discontinued operation? It is 20.38. Now, after when we discontinue product C, the contribution that we have here is this. So, which means that the contribution will increase by the amount of the product C that you discontinued. There are two ways to this. I may decide not to do this thing. I may decide to say, oh, my contribution will increase based on the product C. My profit will increase based on the product C that I discontinued, because the product C here is having negative. That is why the profit decreased to this. And when you remove it, the profit or the contribution increases. So with that, it will increase by that amount that you discontinued. Because when you subtract it, it will reduce your contribution to 20.388. And that is why we have to say, oh, what will be the total profit as a result of how much did you save? You have saved, let me use saving, right? Maybe you will understand. So you have saved, this is savings. You have saved 900 for the organization because you have discontinued product what? Product C. It is not giving you anything. That is savings. Because look at it here, class. Can you see it? This is 0.5. As a result of that 0.5, it is reducing the contribution. So you decide to discontinue it. What will happen? You are savings. You have a savings of what? 900 naira. Now, the next one is what will be the what will be the impact, right? If you discontinue product C and the unit of product B decreases, what will be the impact? We want to know, will our profit increases or decreases? Now we now say, oh, first, you will lose contribution of 200 from 200 units because it was 1,000 units. You will lose 200 units from 1,200 units first as a result of discontinued product C. Now, you now discontinue product C, you will have a savings of discontinued product C because you are already making a loss on that product. Now, the question is, what is the difference? You have one loss, you have one savings. What do you have? You still have a loss on your profit as a result of what? Discontinued what? Product C. Class. Please, are we communicating? Am I communicating, please? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Am
Yeah.
I communicating?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, Vivian, are we good? Okay. She's not with us. Okay. Now, if that is established, we move to the next part of this question. Now, please, we will continue to be doing it like this, right? So that we will not waste much of our time. Now, what will be the effects on net income if product C sales price increases to this? Class, what it means is that the selling price, now they now say, oh, we don't want to discontinue it. This is logical. You don't want to discontinue it, you increase the price to 8 naira. To 8 naira, you've already increased it to 8 naira. Rational consumer, we look at it, you increase, most especially product that there are substitutes. You increase Pepsi to 500. How much is Coke? Coke is 400. Oh yeah, now they play. There are substitutes. That is why they say, with a decrease in the numbers of units sold, definitely there will be a decrease in the numbers of units sold as a result of what? Increase in the what? In the selling price. It means that that particular product is a substitute product. You can use this to substitute another product. It is not necessity. Because if it is necessity, people will still buy it as a result of what? Increase in the what? In the selling price. So therefore, in this case, we have to do what? We have to reduce, we have to do what? We have to reduce what? Um, the numbers of units, so what? So 1,500 with no effect on what? On the other product. So which means that there is no effect, right? On the other product. So which means that we have to increase product C selling price to 8 naira, and the numbers of units sold will also decrease to 1,500. So what is the numbers of units sold before? It was 1,800. At what? At 7 naira per unit, class. So in this case now, let's look for another approach that we will use as a result of that. So let me check again. Let me quickly check. Okay, this is 8 naira. Okay, that's fine. So in this case now, product what? I need to check. Product C. Okay, product C. Product C, right? Okay. Class, hope you are following. There is no problem. There is no cause for alarm. Just follow. Just follow. Just follow. Just follow. Okay. 3. This is 3. Please, what we did on Tuesday was wrong, right? So that is why I needed to do justice to it, right? So now, in this case now, what will be the new contribution for product what? For product C as a result of what? Increase. That is, your contribution is your profit, right? As a result of what? Increase. As a result of increase in what? In the selling what? In the selling price, class. Now, in this case, new contribution per unit on product C. What will be the new contribution? So therefore, so let me bring it out so that you get it. Your selling price minus the contribution, minus variable cost per unit will give new contribution. Class, it is 8 naira per unit minus, check your material. What is the total variable cost per unit? What is the total variable cost per unit? Total variable cost per unit. Total variable cost per unit. What is the
6.5
total
naira
variable?
per unit.
Okay, thank you. For product what? For product C. Okay, I'm coming. So can you see it? Your total variable cost per unit 6.50 plus 1 naira. Okay. Now let me bring it out so that 6 points plus 1 naira per unit, right? So what is the new contribution? What is the new
50,
contribution? You say?
50 kobo. 0.50.
Okay. 0.50 per unit. So what is the total? When you multiply it by the units, they say it will decrease by what? It will decrease to 1,500. What is the total? Total contribution. Total contribution as a result of the increase, total contribution. So total contribution will be equals to 0. Oh, this call will soon end. I need to create another one. Okay, 5 minutes. So let's quickly calculate this. The per unit times, what is the units? Is 1,500, right? It will reduce to 1,500. Is that not?
Yes.
Okay. So what do we have? What is the
750.
total contribution?
750.
750. Now, let's quickly go back again to the question. Interesting. I have to bring this. Now, the question says that the effect on net income if Udosi's sale price is increased to this with a decrease in the numbers of what? With no effect on other what? With no effect on other products. It will not have effect on other products. It's just this. Now, the question is, what is the old contribution per unit for product C? So we will now compare it that do we have a loss, right? Do we have a loss on the profit or we have a gain on the profit? Don't forget, discontinued operation. You see that product they are telling you, that is what you need to what? Analyze, right? You've gotten the total. They say what will be the effects on the net income. You want to know the impact, right? Now, the new contribution is 750 naira. Now, what is the old contribution? Now, what is the difference? Do we have increase in the profit? Do you have a profit or you make a loss? Class, am I communicating? Am I communicating, please, class? Hello, unmute your mic. Am I
Yes,
communicating?
sir.
Okay, okay. Effect on net income, that is contribution. If product C sales price increased to 8 naira with a decrease in the number of units sold to 1,500 with no effect on other products. Now, what is the existing contribution that we have, or we can call it old contribution? Old contribution, right? What is the old contribution? We have to bring it, and the old contribution is based on 1,800, right? For product C. Let's quickly go back. Can you see it here? I can copy this, then paste. So it is based on what? 1,800. Class, what do you have? What do you
900.
have here?
900.
900. So what is the addition of the two? What do you have?
1,650.
1,650. 1,650. 1,650. I'll give reasons for that coming. Now, do you know this question? This question is actually technical. It's a very technical question, and that is why we were not able to complete it in our previous lecture. Now, the question is, please pay attention. The question is, if the contribution, what is it called? If you increase the selling price to 8 naira per unit with a decrease in the units to 1,500. You know, that selling price, first, what is your contribution from there? Contribution per unit as a result of the increase. That is one. Two, you have your 0 naira 50 kobo, right? Per unit. Now, what will be the total contribution as a result of the increase in the what? In the selling price. And they said it is 1,500 units, class. Now, the old contribution that you calculate, this old contribution is like your savings that, if you discontinue this product C, class, if you discontinue this product C, what do you have? What do you have again? If you discontinue this product C, class, what do you have? You have a savings of 900. Now, if you now do what? Increase it, increase the total contribution, increase the selling price to 8 naira, and the unit decreases. What is the contribution that you have? Now, the addition of these two will be that, as a result of the increase, as a result of the savings, your contribution has increased to 1,000, your profit has increased to 1,650. And that is what it means. That is why we have 1,000 what? 1,650. Right? I will explain that again before the end of this class so that you will understand. Let's move on first. So, 4, right? 4. What is that number 4? Quickly. Number 4. Number 4. Class, before I move on, do we get this? Do we understand this part? Hello? Unmute your mic now if you
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay. Now, I will still come back to that part. I will still explain this thing again so that you still understand. I will explain it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You get it. Now, the next one is the effect. What will be the effect on net income if a new product E, if you introduce product E now, is introduced, and product C is discontinued with no effect. So you discontinued product what? Product C. Don't forget, when you discontinue product C, you will have a savings of 900 naira. Because because it's already having a loss already. You have a savings of what? 900 what? 900 naira. Is that not so? Now, with no effect on other products, total variable cost now for E is what? Variable cost. This variable cost is per unit. And 1,600 what? Units can be sold at what? This is the selling price. 9 naira 50 kobo per unit. And this is the variable cost. Now, the plant in which the product C is produced can be utilized to produce what? Product E. Like I said, this is a very technical question. And it is what? It is very simple, class. Right? Don't forget, I will do a summary of it at the end of this class. Just to relax. Okay? It's very what? Simple. Please. Now, so you are bringing in product E and you are discontinuing product what? Product C. Don't forget, when you discontinue product C, you will have a savings of what? 900. Is that not so? Now, let's start. Let's start it again. Okay. Let's start it again. Okay. Savings on product C as a result of discontinued operation, right? You have, it is 0.5 naira per unit. 5 naira per unit. Times, what is the unit? 1,800. Right? 1,000 what? 1,800. So this is your savings, because they say when you discontinue product C and you now introduce product E. So this is 900 savings. Now, new products, right? new products, new products, new products E. Let me say product E. Now, class,
That they need to meet economicity to get a conversation going. And of course, any
please
bank,
mute your mic.
just to
Please, the person should mute his or her mic. So the selling price is this. Sales minus variable cost, you have your contribution. Is that not so? Class, sales minus what? Variable cost. Please take notes. 9 points. I will tell you to give me figure. I will not come up again, please. Just give me figure. Okay. Contribution. Let me say contribution. Contribution for product E. Okay. So what is the selling price? What is the selling price? Figure. What is the selling price? Hello?
The selling price is 9 naira 50 kobo.
Thank you. 9 naira
50
50
kobo.
kobo. Minus, what is the variable cost?
8 naira 5 kobo.
8 naira 5 kobo. God bless you.
No,
Times what?
05. 8.05.
8.05. Times, what is the units? What is
1,600.
1,000?
600 units.
Okay, 1,600. So what is the total contribution? What is the total contribution?
2,320 naira.
2,320. So what is the total increase in profits? Increase in net profits. As a result of introducing product E, you will have a contribution of this. When you discontinue product C, you have a savings of this. Savings means you have money. So what is the addition? What do you have?
3,220 naira.
3,220. Please, if you did not understand this part, unmute your mic again. If you did not understand this one, unmute your mic.
Can you take it again, sir?
Lydia, you say?
I said, can you take it again? That part. Not clear.
I guess you are just joining, right? Did you
No,
just join this
sir.
class? You just
No,
joined,
I'm
right?
not. No, sir.
No, I disagree. But that's fine. Are you with the question?
Yes, I'm with the
Okay.
question.
Okay. Now, let's take it again. The effect, I'm working with what they gave me. This is what I'm working with. The effect on net income. If a new product, when you introduce new product and you discontinue product C, don't forget, already product C is having a negative and you decide to discontinue product C, you will have a savings because that money that you're supposed to spend on product C, you will save it. That savings is like your profit. Lydia, when you introduce product E, this is selling price. Sales minus variable cost contribution. Multiply the contribution by 1,600. You will have your new contribution. So therefore, the savings that you have for discontinued product C, because product C have a negative, the contribution was negative, but you have discontinued it, you will save 900. Then when you introduce product E, you will have contribution of this. What is your profit will increase? Increase in the net profit will be 3,220. Do you understand now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. So the next one is 5. The next one is 5. Right? Oh, 5. 5. Okay. What's this name? I have to clear something here. Okay. Yes. Interesting. Okay, 5. So let's quickly go back to number 5 of this question. Please always pay attention to the question. Question will come in different scenario. Please ensure you apply it. You apply the principle that guides what that guides that particular topic, right? So that you'll be able to get it. So this is D now. Come on, leave it. You don't give me headache. So after D, you have E. Now, the effects. What will be the effects on net income if production of product A is reduced? You have reduced your production. Definitely your contribution will reduce. You have reduced your production. Initially, product A is producing 1,000 units. Is selling, don't forget, I analyzed this thing for you when we were doing limiting factor, that before you say you want to sell, you want to make a sales, definitely you have produced that unit. So it is assumed that the numbers of units you sold is the numbers of units you produce. Before you can be able to make a sales, oh, before you can be able to make a sales, your sales is based on the numbers of what you have in your stock. That is what you base it on. Is that not so? If you don't have it, can you make a sales of that? No. So therefore, product A has reduced to 500 units. So definitely the contribution will reduce to 500 units to be sold at, it will not be sold now, which is the selling price. So the selling price will now change at 12 naira per unit. Now the question is, what is the old selling price? The selling price is 10 naira. So they have increased the selling price, right? They have done what? They've actually what? Increased the what? The selling price class. So if you increase the selling price 12 naira per unit, and if production of product D is increased to, so you now decide that, oh, product D will increase to 2,500 units and be sold to 10.50. Is that also 10.50? Now, same plant can be adopted to produce. So now, what you will do now in this case is that you will present the new contribution. You will present the old contribution. What do you have? Do you have an increase? Do you have a loss? And that is the analysis class. Now, in this case, we will present this. Please, you can screenshot it if you don't have the material, so that we will start new contribution. New contribution. Right. So let's start from Let's start from product. Which one is the first product? Product A, right? A. So product A, what is the sales? What is the sales? Why is the new sales class? The selling price.
12 naira.
It seems we are tired, right?
12 naira.
12 naira per unit, right? Minus your variable cost. Now, what is the variable cost? What is the variable cost given to us? What is the variable cost? The variable cost is what? Okay, they didn't even give us the variable cost. They just tell us, okay, now, since they didn't give us the variable cost, well, that's fine. So what is the variable cost of product A? Variable cost of product A, 2.50 plus 1.117. That is the variable cost. So therefore, we go back and don't forget, sales minus variable cost. Okay, give me the figure. The first figure is what?
2.50.
2.50 minus, what is the next?
1.17.
Okay, 1.17. This 1.17 and 2.50 is variable cost. So let me write it. Okay, I know someone will still ask me. Oh, I know. Selling price minus variable cost, the two variable costs given to us. Times what is the units? 500 units, right? Class, 500 units, right?
Yes, 500 units.
So what do we have?
4,165 naira.
God bless you. 4,165. So the next one is the next product, which is product D. So what is the selling price? Is there a new selling price? There is, right? So let's go back. Okay, there is selling price.
10.50.
God bless you. Then
0.50 naira.
that, thank you. Then the variable cost, don't forget we add this variable cost together per unit and this per unit so that we get the contribution. Please take note of that. Or let me show you again. Or you go to the question and check. 6 points and 1.20. So 10.5 minus. So what is the variable cost? Give me the figure.
6
Okay, 6 naira per
naira.
unit. Plus, what do you have again?
Plus 1.2
1.2.
naira.
Okay. Okay. So what is the contribution? Times, what is the unit? We're told that the unit will increase.
2,500 units.
Okay, 2,500 units. So what do we have?
₦8,250.
8,250. So what is the addition of this first? We'll have to keep it one side and check. So what is the addition of this? What is the addition of this?
12,415 naira.
12,415. Now we will now compare so that we will know the impact. What is their old contribution? Then we can now compare the two together. Then we'll now say what will be the effects, right? And that is what we want to do, right? Chidima,
Okay, yes, sir. I think that A is not correct because what I got here is 5,335. Don't know, maybe you should confirm.
2.50 plus 1.17. What do you have, Chidima? 2.50 plus 1.17. What do you have?
I did it together.
Away. Do it one after the other. Add it together. Now say 12 minus what you get. So when you say 12 minus what you get times 500 units, it will give you the answer. Okay? Just confirm. Just
Okay, thank
confirm.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just confirm before we finish this class, please. So, old contribution, because we want to know the impact on the profits. Why is this thing not moving now? Contribution A. Oh. So we go back. What is the A and D? What is the selling price? We've done it before now. A and D. Here is A. Okay, 6.33, right? Can you see it? It's already there already. Selling price minus variable cost, the two variable costs, you have your what? You have your contribution, right? You have your what? You have your contribution. But if you want me to bring it out, I will still do it like that, right? So let me quickly bring it out. Your selling price is 10. Your variable cost, your two variable costs, minus it, you have your contribution. And that is what we want to do. So I will quickly bring it out so that, so what is the old? Give me the selling price. What is the selling price? What is the selling price? Quickly. For A,
10 naira.
10 naira per unit, right? Minus. So what is the first variable cost that we have? Variable cost of sales per unit. What is the
5.
variable cost?
2.5.
What do you have?
2.5.
2.5.
Okay, you have 2.5. Which one did you have again? Plus the
1.17.
variable 1 point what?
17.
17 times what is the old unit that you have? What is the old unit? What is the unit?
1,000.
Okay, 1000. What next? So the D. I know you are tired, right? Or I'm also very tired. I'm tired too. What is the selling price? What is the selling price? Quickly for D.
For D is 6.
11 naira.
11 naira. Okay. Okay.
11
Oh,
naira. 11 naira. Yes.
okay. It's 11 naira. Okay. Okay. 11 naira. Minus. What is the variable cost?
6
6
naira.
naira and 1.2.
6 naira plus 1.2. So what is the unit?
2,000.
2000. So I need figure. I need figure. I need figure, please.
For hay, 5,800 units. I mean naira.
5,000,
800 naira.
5,800 naira for A. Please confirm it again. 5,800.
Sorry.
Actually, that is why I say you should confirm. Well, it's because there's no light. I would have shown you my notes. I did it separate. I did it separate. You
For
see,
B, 7,600.
for B, Abi, we have A and D.
D, sorry, 7,600 naira.
It's
Okay, I'm coming.
correct.
Please confirm the A.
The D is
7,000,
correct.
7,600. Okay.
The A is
D,
6,330 naira.
okay. Fumi, please confirm your figure. Please confirm. Okay.
Please, can we
So
just
this
scroll up?
is,
I think we've done this thing before. I don't know.
yes, now it's still the same thing now.
I'm not getting 6,330.
Ah,
So it's 5,800 for A.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Ah,
coming. I'm coming. Wait, I'm coming. Let's go back. Selling price. What is the selling price for A? This is the selling price for A. Is that not so?
yeah.
If you minus 10 minus 2.5 minus 1.17, you have what? 6.33. Did you have 6.33 before you multiply? 1.17, or you did not call the figure. Let me check the figure that
Maybe
you called.
let's check the figure.
Okay, 1.17.
1.17. Okay.
Uh-huh. Thank you. So now you can see now this is the new and this is the old. Now, what's really happened here? Let's check. Is there any increase in the profit or decrease in the profit? So add these two together. Let's see. Add these two. What do we have?
13,930
Okay.
naira.
13,930. So you can see that as there is, you can see now, class, is there, do you have increase in the profit or decrease in profit?
There
Is
is
it increase or there
increase.
is what? There is
Increase.
increase. There is what?
Increase.
Okay, why do you say is increase? Why?
Ah, okay. The old. Okay, the old contribution is more than the new. There is decrease. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So decrease in because they want to know the impact. Decrease in what? In profits. The profit will decrease or there's a decrease. What is the difference? What is the difference? The difference. Like seriously, I'm also tired though. I'm tired.
1515. 1,515.
Okay, that is the decrease. 1,515. So there is a decrease in the profit. The profit has decreased to this as a result of bringing new, increasing the what, the selling price as well as this. So these are the impacts they want to know, right? So we should, in case you have question again, please unmute your mic, oh, except those that are just joining us now. You know you are just joining us now. Just you don't even need to unmute your mic. Just mute, right? So lastly, before we go, let's check the last. Let's check the last one before we go. the effect on net income if production of product A is increased by, I've differentiate the difference between buy and to. If they tell you that this thing increased to, that is the increase. You don't need to inflate, you don't need to, that is the increase. But if they say a product, if production of product A is increased by 1,000 units, so which means that it will increase by that 1,000 units. Is that not so? So it is not that it has increased to that 1,000 units. So they say is increased by 1,000, which means that you need to increase the original unit that you have. You need to increase it by that amount, by that unit. If they say it has increased to, you don't need to do anything. But they say if it is increased by 1,000 units, you have to increase the original unit by that amount, by that unit. And then it will now be sold. It will be sold at 10,000 each by adding a second shift, high wages. High wages must be paid, thus increasing the variable cost of goods sold to variable cost of goods sold, which means, another name for variable cost of sales is variable cost of goods sold. Either you say variable cost for those who work in manufacturing company where you have to do inventory, your cost of sales is still the same thing as cost of goods sold, right? So that is what they are trying to tell you, that the cost of sales will still increase to, it has increased to, you don't need to increase it again. They've already increased it, right? So the only thing that you will increase, first, add this 1,000 units to the original unit of product A. What is the original unit of product A? Before we go, is 1,000 units. You add it. Then, to be sold at this is your selling price. Then, as a result of that, your variable cost of goods sold, which is cost of sales, will increase. Has already increased to that unit amount. You don't need to inflate it. That is the what. So now let's quickly do that. Please screenshot so that we will not be going. Finally, we are done with this question. So please screenshot. Okay. Now let's increase. Okay, what will be the impact? Let me understand that question again. Sorry. That is how I do. I have to understand. If I don't understand, okay, what will be the impact as a, so we compare the old and new as well. So and okay. New contribution is product A, right? New contribution for product A. Class is product A, right? Product A, right? I'm asking
Yes,
question now.
yes, product
Okay.
A.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, first, units sold will increase by that amount. So the old unit is 1,000 units. 1,000 units plus 1,000 units. What is the total units? This is 2,000 units. Then we want to determine contribution, right? Contribution equals to sales. What is the new selling price? What is the new selling price?
3.50 kobo.
3.50 kobo. Let me check. Oh, 3.50 kobo.
10 naira.
Ha. Ha. Who said 3.50 kobo? Who said it? Just submit your mic. Just say I'm the one. Hello. Okay. This is, it will be sold by this. There's nothing there. Just submit your mind. You don't know. Okay. No worry. Fine. So increase the variable cost of sales
It's me.
should. Let me see. Who are you? Who are you? They play. I'll show you. We'll fight. We'll fight. We'll fight. So we go back. The selling price. Uh, selling price is 10 minus, what is the variable cost? Okay, what is the variable cost? Is that increased to variable cost of sales? 3 naira. Say it's 3 naira 50 kobo, right?
Yes.
Hello. Okay. Plus, what is the variable cost? Variable expenses cost per unit for A. What is the variable cost expenses per unit for A? Oh, ah,
1.17 naira.
1.17. 1.17. At the beginning of this class, I see you should write, Abi. Many of you are not writing, right? Okay, that's fine. We'll go and watch it on YouTube. But as for me, I will not send this solution to you. Do you know why? It will make you so lazy. If I send this solution to you, many of you will not go back to that YouTube and understand how this thing is being calculated. And that, it is not a very good one at all. It's not. It's not. And that is my principle, though. So now, when you multiply, what do you have? Okay, let's multiply by 2,000 units. We multiply by 2,000 units.
10,000. 10,660
God bless you.
naira.
10,000 CCs. Good.
660.
660. So we'll just copy. What is the old contribution? Old contribution. Don't forget, the question may not come like this. The question will be maybe added to limiting factor. And they will tell you, what if product C is discontinued? Mostly they will use product C. You see that product C done so far. They will tell you, what if product C, you discontinue product what? Product C. What will be the impact? See, you don't need to stress yourself. Base it on the contract. Just say, okay, what is the old contribution before discontinue? What is the new contribution before? Okay, the organization have saved this so amount. Simple. You move on. That is what we are trying to do, right? Now, what is the old contribution? Old contribution. What is the selling price? Let's go back. A. It seems I need to copy all these things. Let me just
10
copy it.
naira per unit.
Thank you, Joe. Just give me figure. Just give me figure. Any figure you call is okay. Because means if I don't tire. Old contribution is 10 naira, abi?
Yes,
Is it
10
10
naira
naira?
per unit.
Okay, 10 naira per unit minus, what is the
2.25 naira.
I don't ask the question.
2 point what?
50 naira
2 point.
Okay. The next one plus, what
plus
is the next variable cost?
1.17.
1 point
1.17
17.
naira.
17. Okay, that's fine. So multiply by, what is the unit sold?
1,000
Original unit
units.
sold. 1,000 units.
1,000.
Good.
1,000.
That is 6,330.
Good. I'm coming. 6,330. 30. So, do we have increase or decrease in profit? Do you have increase or decrease in profit? What is the difference? Do you have increase or decrease in profit? What is the profit? Do you have increase or decrease?
Increase.
We have
Increase.
increase.
Increase in profit. What is the difference? What is the difference?
4,330.
330.
4,330.
330. All right. This will be the end of discontinued operation, as well as anything that has to do with short-term. Please mute your mind. Anything that has to do with short-term decision. Class, please. What is so important is for you to understand the discontinued operation. What will be the impact on the profit? You can base it on the profit. You can base profit on your contribution, right? Because this is performance management, right? This is performance management, and it is what it is at the end of the period, right? So my sincere apologies for not we're supposed to have moved ahead, right? My sincere apologies for that. So in our next class we'll be looking at